Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be taking a look at a secret character that can be found inside of the Valentine Hotel during the mission Polite Society Valentine Style. So this is a mission that occurs in Chapter 2. In fact, it could be the very first mission you do in Chapter 2. If you actually speak to Uncle, who is sort of sitting by a wagon in camp, and it triggers this cutscene.
Careful not to work yourself to death there, Uncle.
I was thinking.
Yeah, does it pay well?
Oh, eventually.
So, while the rest of us are busy stealing, killing, lying, fighting to try to survive, you get to think all day.
Well, it's a strange world we live in, Arthur Morgan.
Do you want to head into town? See if we can find anything out?
Sure, I got some errands to run.
Great. Go check the horses are ready.
You gonna take the old man into town? Can take us too?
Well, what you got planned?
Nothing. We'll find something for y'all to do. We always do.
We're bored out of our minds. Been cooped up here for 2 weeks now. Karen's about ready to murder Grimshaw.
Well, can Miss Grimshaw spare you?
Can Miss Grimshaw spare you? What's happened to you, Arthur? 3 young, healthy women want you to take them a robbing. You're worried about house chores. Let's go.
Fair enough. You got me. Come on then.
I can't believe we're going to see civilization. Feels like weeks since we did.
Yeah, Valentine. Very embodiment of civilization. Ladies are gonna love it.
Okay then. Let's go.
All right, out through the trees here, then take a left.
Okay, so you, Uncle, Tilly, Mary Beth, and Karen are all going to Valentine to not only get out of the camp in which they've been cooped up in for the last couple of weeks, but they're also trying to find some leads on some money-making opportunities, some lucrative situations in the town of Valentine. And long story short, what happens is they get to Valentine. What happens is Uncle and Arthur instruct all the women to get to work. That's literally Uncle's words. And what happens from there is Arthur and Uncle go inside of the convenience store, the general store. They pick out some goods, and Arthur is supposed to meet Uncle outside of the store where another cutscene happens.
Oh, here's to your good health, sir. And to being down here off that mountain.
Absolutely.
It's a funny world, you know. This time in my career, I pictured myself being married to an heiress.
Gentlemen, I think I got something good.
What?
I snuck into this fancy house. Acted like a servant girl. Usually works. Someone was saying her sister was taking a trip from New York or someplace. Train full of rich tourists heading to Saint Denis and then cruising off to Brazil.
Okay.
A train laden with baggage and passing through a bit of deserted country at night as to get to the docks in time for the tides in some place called Scarlet Meadows.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, it's right out near New Hanover. Right, it's real quiet out there.
Sounds good. Where's Tilly and Karen?
I think at the hotel. They were picking up some drunken fellas that they was gonna rob.
Why?
It seemed easy. They have been gone for quite a while.
I guess I'll go see if there's any trouble.
Oh, there's Tilly over there. That does not look ideal.
Excuse me.
Okay, so now Arthur has to go rescue Tilly, who is actually being, I don't know if she's being bullied or being threatened, but that is actually Anthony Foreman, a character that we will see a little bit later on in the story. If you thought this was just a random NPC, then you are incorrect, because this guy is like an ex-gang member of Tilly, and they have a long past and a long history together. So it's pretty cool that in the first mission of the game, Rockstar already introduces you to potentially one of the antagonists and someone that you'll run into at a later time. So that's the first step you have to do to finding this secret character. Now, once you've dealt with Tilly, you'll actually say to her and to Uncle that you're going to go look for Karen in the hotel, and then this will happen. I'm just going to let this entire situation play out.
Can I help you, sir?
Try and help people.
I'm looking for a girl who came in here earlier with a drunk fella. Mid-20s, blonde. You'd remember her.
Yeah, they're in 2B upstairs. Are you, a friend of his?
A friend of hers.
No, they're upstairs, room 2B. Sir?
Can I help you, sir?
No. Wrong room.
No harm done. Join me. I'm a Chelonian. Have you read our book?
No, I was just leaving.
So what the heck is going on here? If you go in room 1B instead of room 2B, you will find a Chelonian that is kneeling in front of the window and is almost sort of like worshiping the sun or the sky, or is bathing in the light. This is just so strange. Now, I wanted to get a better look at who this Chelonian was. He's wearing like a sort of sky blue shirt with white overalls, black pants with white stripes, and light brown shoes. Now, the only thing I noticed here is that his shirt sort of reminded me of the same color of the Epsilon program from GTA 5. So I'm not sure if there's a connection there or if that's just a coincidence. But either way, I found that to be quite strange. He's also got that book in front of him, which he offered to us, but we actually cannot take. Another thing that's interesting is you can't actually get close to him. He almost sort of has like an invisible barrier or invisible force field going on around him. Now, I wanted to see what happened, what this guy looked like from the outside of the hotel as well. So you can actually go outside of the hotel to that window, and sure enough, you can see him just sort of looking up into the sky. And that gives us a better view of his facial features. You can see he has slick-backed brown hair and a handlebar mustache. And you can also see what he's doing, too. It looks like he's either singing to himself or saying a prayer. I'm really not too sure, but he said that he was a Chelonian. Now, this might be the first time in which you would have encountered the Chelonians in-game. In fact, it is the first time that you've encountered a Chelonian, because you don't actually get Mary's mission where you save her brother Jamie from the Chelonians until much later on. Now, speaking of the Chelonians, I wanted to see if this guy was a part of the same group of Chelonians that you can find on top of the mountain when you go and try and visit and save Jamie at Mary Linton's request. So remember what he looks like. He has the slick back brown hair, the big mustache. Well, if you visit the Chelonians, he doesn't look like any of the ones that are on top of this mountain. So maybe he was just not a part of that group that went up on top of the mountain. Maybe by the time we get to that mission, he realizes that Chelonianism is not for him. Or maybe he just wasn't up there at the time. Who really knows? But that definitely was an experiment that I wanted to try to see if we could actually recognize him and if he would potentially recognize us. So again, that is so interesting that there's like this secret Chelonian in there. Now, an experiment I tried, if you actually shoot him, for whatever reason I wanted to try this, he does sort of stand up and stop praying, but that does alert the law. So you fail the mission if you interact with this guy in any way, shape, or form. Now, after that, it was time to go rescue Karen, and essentially what happens is you have to barge into their hotel room 2B, where this guy is beating up on Karen. He's not doing what he said he was going to do. From there, you basically bring her outside, and then another cutscene occurs.
Thank you, Arthur. I don't much like being saved, but when I have to be.
I understand.
You okay?
Sure. He only punched me. Arthur punched him a lot harder.
All right, then.
Hey, who's that guy over there looking at us?
Weren't you in Blackwater a few weeks back?
Me? No, sir. Ain't from there.
Oh, you were. Well, I definitely saw you with a bunch of fellers.
Me? No. Impossible. Listen, buddy, come here for a minute.
I saw you.
Come here.
Come on, get!
I don't like this.
Me neither. Go get the girls home. I'm gonna go have a word with our friend.
Be careful, Arthur.
Just a word. Yeah!
Okay, so that character running off is Jimmy Brooks. We're not going to follow Jimmy Brooks, or we're not going to show the cutscene because I've, gone into that in future videos. But you might not have known you have to steal someone's horse, or as Arthur calls it, borrow someone's horse. You can actually return this for extra honor. If you bring the horse back, this is what happens.
Hey! My horse! Hello. Am I glad to see you? Here's your horse back, friend.
Oh, you really were just borrowing it.
Appreciate it.
So that's pretty cool. You might not have known about that you can actually return the horse to its rightful owner. And then you can go back into the hotel room where you will have some extra lines of dialogue based off of what just happened.
Oh, it's, you.
Yes, it is. Last time I checked.
I really don't need any more trouble.
I didn't come to make any. I was just protecting a lady.
Well, all behind us now, I suppose. So what is it you need? A bath, perhaps?
Now, another thing that's interesting is after that mission, if you go back to the hotel room, the Chelonian will be gone. And sort of the blinds or the, curtains on the windows will now be shut. So in a span of a couple minutes, did he leave? Did he hear all the commotion outside and run away? Is he just no longer in the hotel room? Again, there's so many different questions and scenarios I have here. I just think this is incredibly interesting that there's a really cool secret character hidden inside of the Valentine Hotel room during this mission only. And the only way in which you can see him is if you go against the objective of the mission, if you go inside of the wrong room. So I found this to be incredibly cool. Let me know in the comments down below, have you run into this Chelonian before? Do you think he's significant to the story, or do you think he's just an afterthought Easter egg? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.